Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to 999. We're back here at our grand decision where we're making the decision on do we want to go through door 3, door 7, or door 8. And just a short little recap, we had lost Snake. We don't know where he's gone. You know, he's gone somewhere while we were out searching for the parts of the Reds that got replaced by someone else that we also don't know who it is. And we have no idea where he is. We spent time looking for him, and we came to the conclusion that we'd have to sacrifice somebody. Just a short little overview. And we were given a decision on which door do we want to make us go through. 3, 7, or 8. Now, I've been told that door 3 is probably a good way to go for the first playthrough. And I talked to my friend that's letting me borrow this game, and they said that that was a very good way to start out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with door 3 this time, and we'll eventually investigate the other doors, but we are going to do door 3 for this time because there's a little bit of math if you think about it. I can't think of it at the moment. I did it earlier, but in the comments I was told that there's actually a pretty darn good reason why Junpei wouldn't want door 7 or door 8. And I believe if I've done the math correctly, the reason you wouldn't want door 7 or door 8 would be that you couldn't be with June in those. I think. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it was when I added it up. But we're going to go with door 3 because I think that does give us the option. And it's probably going to screw with everyone's plans. Actually, I think I did forget something. Give me just a moment if you wouldn't mind. Sorry, I forgot to turn on background fan. So we will go with door 3. I want to go through door number 3. No. You can't. Huh? Why? Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3. Why? The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5... or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door. I see. That means 1 team would get left behind. That's right. That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8. No, they're fine. We've got 3 options. Santa began to explain. Plan A. Go through door 7 with 3, 5, 8, and go through door 8 with 4, 6, 7, which would not allow us to go with June, of course. Plan B. Go through door 7 with 4, 5... Sorry, I was thinking about something, but it's not relevant. Sorry. Go through door 7 with 4, 5, 7. And go through door 8 with 3, 6, 8, which also does not allow us to go with June. Which, I mean, I'm not saying that June's the most important thing, but I'm saying according to Junpei, I would consider being with June to be a kind of important thing. And then plan C. Go through door 7 with 3, 6, and 7. Go through door 8 with 4, 5, 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least, if we want to get all 6 of us out of here. That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. Okay. Plan B divides into 2 teams. And okay. Plan C divides into 2 teams. There was one thing they all had in common. In every single combination, 5 and 6 were never on the same team. In other words, if all 6 people were to move forward, Junpei and June would be separated. June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. But I feel like it's still a viable option, regardless of him saying that. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So, what are you gonna do? 7 or 8, time to choose. Junpei thought hard. After thinking it over, his conclusion was... Now, see, here's the thing. So we could go with this plan, 7 or 8. You know, he's done the math for us right there. Take the risk and choose door 3. That means you're leaving behind 3 people. And technically, you're leaving behind Ace as well, which we are already planning on leaving behind. But that means instead of sacrificing 1 person, we're sacrificing 4. And I'm pretty sure the people that are getting left behind are not going to be cool with that. Just because you want to just happen to be with June. But, as was suggested by both my friend in the comments and by my IRL friend who let me borrow this game, we will take the risk and choose door 3. Screw you all. Screw you all. Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3. What? That's nuts. You've got to be crazy. Why the heck are you so obsessed with that door? I'm just... Junpei paused. He swallowed the words he's been about to say. I'm just curious about door 3. That's all. That doesn't explain anything. I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'd just come with me. With that, he began walking towards the door. Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. I'm kind of tense about this, like I don't know what's going to happen. It's really exciting. Junpei stopped. I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me? Huh? Why? Please, just do it. He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner. Okay. Happy? Yeah, thanks. The number 7 had been entered into the red. Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did. Junpei, what are you trying to figure out? Junpei thought about his answer for a moment. I think I may have found another way out. Huh? What? Really? That got them excited. Just as Junpei had intended. Oh, I'm gonna keep my thought to myself for a second. Now please, June. Okay. Yep. Equals 4. Wait. I'm a little confused. Hold on. 7 plus... Okay. With those 2 numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. He casually placed his own hand on the scanner, and the 3rd asterisk blinked on. Equals 9. Alright. The only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus. So, what's your point? You don't get it? Think about it. What's the sum of your number and Clover's? 12? And what's the digital root of that? 3? Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's that number that's currently in the red? It would be 9, right? Yes. And what will the digital roots be if you add 3 to that? 3. But it won't work because there's 6 of us. I think. Hey, wait a minute. What the heck are you up to? I'm not up to anything. I'm just waiting. Waiting for what? I'm waiting for the balance to shift. What does that mean? Santa. Or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting. Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever. Wait. Wait, is he basically letting one of them die? Or 2 of them die, depending on who enters first? Oh my gosh, I did not expect that. I thought he was just gonna, like, try to get him and June scanned in casually, and then, like, do what the first guy did and, like, threaten them and close the door on them. I was not expecting that. You tricked us! then all that stuff you were going on about is all crap. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured another way to get out of here? This is it? Why the heck would you do something like this? Junpei glanced at June. Jumpy, you did this just so you can go through the same door as June? That's it? Santa was furious. His face was red, and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. I'm sorry. I know this is really dramatic, but it suddenly got really cold in here, so I need to go get a jacket. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. Just want to give you guys a little bit of my thoughts, because I know we've been running on, but let me give you a little bit of my thoughts before we continue. I did honestly not expect Junpei to, like, do that. That just seemed like way off the deep end for him. Junpei closed his eyes calmly, and then opened them again. So, who's it gonna be? Santa? Or Lotus and Clover? We're going. Clover. Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei in the door. Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover. No! Wait! Santa did not hesitate. Ugh! He slammed his hand down on the red. Oh man, he just sealed their fate. This is insane. This isn't right. He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving. Yes, well, you may be right. Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort. He turned to the red and pulled the lever. Man, Junpei's like cold and calculating. That is... Oh man, he's crazy. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think. Go! Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did they enter than an all-too-familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. See, I'd be curious to see what Lotus's and Clover's reactions look like right now. That would be like pure horror to look at. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door. They stood still, stopped for where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed and they were gone. Man, that is like completely cold and calculating. Junpei, this isn't fair! Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white. Do you realize what you just did? You just left them out there, and they can't... Shut it. That's enough. It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but 7. We gotta find the dead, or none of this is gonna matter. The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be... dead. We got less than a minute left. No time for screwing around. Get moving. They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found. Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but everyone is blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other door. There! 7 ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled. The room inside was pitch black. They could see nothing beyond the small patch of light that spilled into the doorway. Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room. Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall. I found it! The dead's right over there! He stepped into the room and nearly fell down. The floor was slippery. Uh-oh. What? He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was... Hey, what are you doing? Get over there! Junpei felt 7's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. Sorry. I gotta take a moment. I'm starting to get it's getting a little tense here. Oh. That's something this game does really well, is makes things really tense. But there was no time to say so. Quick! Get to the dead! They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over. Then finally, suddenly, they were there. In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. But, are they going to get the lever in time? Oh, good. Okay. Immediate danger over. Oh, sorry. That's pretty stressful, I gotta say. That is pretty stressful. It's been a long time since I've been this stressed from a game. Whew. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted. Hey, it stopped. It stopped. Now I'm curious what that whatever the wetness or something, the bad feeling was in this room. Ha 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 ha. Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face. What the... The sound of retching came from Santa's direction. What the heck is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke. So desperately had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took. He felt his stomach clench, and bile rise up in his throat. Let's get the lights on first. Oh, do we want to see what's in here? There's a switch over here. The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated the small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toil of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked towards it. And what are we gonna see? That splooshy sound. He stopped as he got close, and extended his fingers towards the switch. Okay, there's definitely blood. There was a soft click as the lights came on. It had scarcely faded when another noise pierced the air, a scream. Oh. Yeah! Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. Oh. Okay, give me a moment. I gotta go close my door. This is freaking me out too much. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay, back again. Sorry, that is like... Just listen to some music for a second. This is like the most terrifying music I've ever heard. I had to turn on the lights and close the door. This is horrifying. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him. What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh, torn from the body, sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall, and become stuck there as they dried. Globules? Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. Looks like an explosion. Seven's voice was low and strained. Just like the ninth man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut. It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. That's a word I'm not terribly used to saying. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces. Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating it had made it almost look like raw pizza dough, covered in tomato sauce. That is an interesting description. And it would be funnier if this music wasn't scaring me to death. His clothes, too, were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the gray slacks. They were all familiar to Junpei. Is that Snake? Yeah, I figured it must have been. I mean, we hadn't seen him and there's a dead guy here. Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry. Oh my god. Finally, Junpei spoke. Why did this happen? No! Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream, full of insanity, and not entirely human. No! 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 She shook her head violently and grabbed fistful of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing. No! Stop it, June! He grabbed her wrist. But as he did, June leapt up and ran. Towards the exit. Oh man, did she just go off the deep end? Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here! She screamed at the door, and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood in her knuckles. Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this? She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fist flailed against the door. Get me out of here! Please! Please, just let me out! Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door. No, get off me! Let me go! Let me go! She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed towards the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. Oh, sorry. That was terrifying. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. I wouldn't say that's terribly unnatural to have someone upset from that. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain. We're gonna be fine. We're not all gonna blow up or anything. It's all gonna be right, June. It's going to be okay, Canny? Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot her name. Her name was a Whisper. I'll be here with you, okay? She nodded once. Thank you. Thank you so much, Junpei. Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic. Do you feel better? Yes. But I'd like to stay here. For a little while, at least. Junpei's body is so warm. Well, in any other situation, I'm sure that would be incredibly romantic. Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June, and helped her up to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room, in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. Wait. I mean, just thinking for a second. We do have June with us, obviously, and she didn't really react so well to Snake's dead body. But would you imagine what would happen if Clover saw that? I think she might have just died on the spot herself. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead. Okay, so are we gonna have to search how to escape out of here? Yeah, I thought so. I gotta admit, that was... I mean, I know I've said it like a couple times already, but that was absolutely horrifying. That music, combined with coming into the room. Absolutely horrifying. Let's take a look around a little bit. Do we not have any items? I guess not. Okay, yeah, because we always lose them. So that's the entrance with the blood. I think this is the entrance that she was hitting and yelling at. I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there. Okay. Is that a clock or... oh, a thermometer. Can you get it off? No. It's screwed onto the wall, so we'll probably need to find a screwdriver. Okay. There's something down there. It's the drain. I meant to click the card. Huh? I think there might be something in there. It looks like a card. Like a key card. I wonder if we can get to it somehow. Don't think so. It's too deep. Oh, that must be too far. Okay. So we probably need to get something to grab that with. Ugh, what is that? What do you think this is? It looks like tar. It's kind of sticky. I don't think we can just wipe it off. I doubt just pouring some water on it's going to help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, maybe that would wash it off. How do we know that would even be useful? Okay. There's some toilet paper. Not that useful. It's a water tank for a toilet. I've seen a lot of OC guys try to hide a piece in something like this. Usually for a 187 or something. I guess they think it's clever. Don't know when they'll figure out everybody else thinks it's also clever too. That's weird. I haven't really had many conversations with 7. So it's kind of a interesting talking to him. Huh? I mean, I know peace, but what's OC? Organized crime. Oh, okay. What is that? Some kind of police slang? Huh? Probably. Huh? What'd I say? Why do you look all sad now? That's not really important now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright? Well, he's not wasting any time. Okay, oh. This is a bomb? Oh no. Oh, that's the tank, sorry. I don't know why, it looks more like a bomb than it's supposed to. It doesn't look like the pipes are supposed to take water to it are working. Hey, there's something in there. Is that a screwdriver at the bottom? Ah, screwdriver, excellent. We could probably use it to take the thermometer off the wall. Okay. Okay, well, I'm looking at our time. I think that's about all we had. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit of a look around the room. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry about all the breaks I had to take. It was a mixture of being cold, and then being freaked out, and then being more freaked out. And I'm sure this isn't going to be the first time, or the last time this is going to happen in this game. I am enjoying it. It's just absolutely terrifying. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time for more 999, where I'm sure we'll investigate the bathroom, probably look at the dead guy, at Snake's dead body again, and maybe run into some more absolutely horrifying things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!